Hi, my name is Obiageri Austin Wando, and I'm a human resource professional. I have been in human resource for over 10 years, and I've worked across multiple industries in my career. I see myself as someone who actually is personable, someone who understands business needs, and someone who has effective communication. Now, but most of all, the thing that I'm most proud of is the fact that I have, aside from having a career, I also have two adorable girls who are 10 and 7. So we decided to make this video basically to talk about balancing work and life. And when I say life, I mean motherhood. It is extremely difficult to achieve this. Sometimes the environment makes it difficult for us to balance work and life. And the truth about it is that it's actually very possible to do so. And I'm going to be very practical about the examples that I gave, because this is the life that I have been living, and the life that I'm currently living in, especially in this COVID period. It's been challenging with the children learning virtually, and me as a mother working remotely. So I do not know how many videos that we're going to make, but we will try to make as many videos as we can. And I hope you really enjoy it. I would appreciate if you gave your feedbacks. You also give tips that works for you or has worked for you, because I know that no one person has all the answers. There's an adage in Africa that says that it takes a whole village to bring up a child. What this simply means is that no one person has all the answers. Contributions come from different places to achieve a common goal. So, what is the first thing that a woman should do, or should the first step you should take in ensuring that you're balancing your career and also being a good mother? The number one thing you should do is to ensure that you remove the guilt. You might ask me, where does the guilt come from? I do not know about others, but I know that there's this guilt that mothers feel, because they feel that there is something else tugging at their heartstrings that is not their children. But the truth about it is that you have decided, you've taken a decision to work and have kids at the same time, and it's entirely okay. So you need to honor and embrace your decision, this decision that you have made. It is key to understand that once this decision has been made, it is extremely impossible for your children to fill the void that a career should fill. And it's also almost impossible for your career to fill that void that motherhood creates. So it is important that you balance it. And like I said, no matter how difficult it is very important to know that loving two things, or loving two things at the same time, is very, very okay. I know that motherhood is a full-time job. Adding on a career to it is almost it's very, very should I say tedious. However, as career women, you are superheroes. Believe that, even if you do not have a cape. So now that we've got the guilt trip aside, let us talk about the first step: understanding yourself. What do I mean by understanding yourself? What I mean by understanding yourself is knowing yourself in and out. And you ask yourself, how is this possible? For me, there are three basic things that I've highlighted that helps you have a good understanding of you as an individual. And understanding yourself will definitely affect your career and motherhood for good. The first thing is to identify in your strengths, your weaknesses, your opportunities, and your threats. The second step is to identify what your values are. And the third one is to identify your temperaments. Now, today in this video, because my producer, who is my 10-year-old, has stated that this video should not be longer than 10 minutes, we will concentrate on identifying your strengths, your weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. In short, called the SWOT. People feel that a SWOT should only be carried out on organizations, but this is not true. A personal SWOT analysis is extremely important. A periodic personal SWOT analysis is even more important. You ask yourself, why should I conduct a SWOT analysis on myself? A SWOT analysis, the benefits of a SWOT analysis cannot be underestimated. Number one, a SWOT analysis helps you create confidence. It helps you create and build confidence in yourself. A SWOT analysis improves you. It helps you improve. And you ask yourself, when you improve yourself as a mother and as a worker. A SWOT analysis also helps you plan and prioritize. It makes you less distracted. And a SWOT analysis gives you control of yourself, gives you control of your time, gives you control of your present and your future. A SWOT analysis also helps you learn new skills. It helps you learn how to multitask. It helps you learn how to delegate. It helps you learn new skills that you did not know that you even had. So tell me, how do I go about a SWOT analysis? In my own case, I do that periodically. I would use one analysis as in a SWOT. My children who are 10 and 7, I see them as a strength. I also see them as a weakness. I also see them as an opportunity and as a threat. You ask me how. I'll use this instance. Now, while working from home, I am working remotely. As a recruiting partner, and my daughters are learning virtually. So I ask myself, how can my kids be a threat to me? My kids can be a threat to me because they're learning, and I'm working at the same time. They can be a threat to the time that I'm supposed to spend working, the 8 hours. They can be a threat to my achieving my goals and my set targets. So, and how can they be an opportunity? They can be an opportunity because I can actually try to harness, the exploit, the fact that they are home, and I do not need to do certain things. I do not need to worry about them. How are they a weakness? They are a weakness because I am very passionate about them, and they are the one thing that can actually take me away from my work. And how are they a strength? They are a strength because I would use their learning. I have two daughters, 10 and 7, who are very, very independent when it comes to academics, especially my 10-year-old. She is extremely smart, extremely bright, very disciplined in her schoolwork. My 7-year-old is also learning the same thing, and it's also been the same. So I know that there's an opportunity for me to actually harness their strength and actually use it to my own advantage. So what do? My 7-year-old is extremely heady. She's good at her schoolwork, but she can get distracted. And I noticed that at every point in time, sometimes she needs me to help her with her schoolwork. And I'm supposed to be conducting interviews because I have set goals. I'm supposed to make at least 15 calls a day. Aside from pipeline management, I'm supposed to conduct interviews. I'm supposed to handle relationship with my hiring manager. So how do I go about this? Because my 10-year-old is extremely smart, I incentivize her to assist the younger one with the schoolwork, and then the younger one is also incentivized to ensure that she listens. So I give my older daughter $1 a day to ensure that she answers all the questions that my younger one needs to be answered. So instead of my younger one coming to me while I'm trying to conduct an interview, she goes to my 10-year-old. And then I pay my 10-year-old 50 cents to package her headiness in a box and listen to her older one. So because they are both incentivized and their strengths basically is the fact that they are independent academically. I saw the opportunity to harness that strength and utilize it for my own good. So I get my 8 hours in one day to work and concentrate, and then I pay out $1.50. Now, aside from that, the fact that they do this and they are part of my helping me with my work, I have an open communication with them. So I talk to them about my goals, my targets. I talk to them about meetings with my project direct report, what I'm expected to do. So I find out that these children, because they fully understand this, the thing is, children are very resilient. Children understand when you communicate, and they know that mommy needs to work to be a better mother, and aside from that, mommy needs to work to pay the bills. So I find my old 10-year-old or my younger one asking me, mommy, have you met your targets today? How many calls have you made today? So in other words, I'm harnessing, I'm using that opportunity, I'm utilizing it, exploiting that opportunity, and in building compassionate young women, building disciplined young women, and building loving and caring young women who understand the need to work, to plan, and to prioritize. So in conclusion, I can see my 10-year-old telling me it's almost time. In conclusion, I would say that the main purpose of a SWOT is to promote your identified strengths, to reduce your weaknesses, and to exploit the opportunities that are created. The A SWOT also helps you make contingency plans to minimize your threats. So when I say contingency plans, things that just come up, you plan, you prioritize, you're able to delegate. It helps you make new build new skills. Things are supposed to be handled, and I'm able to tell my 10-year-old to please handle it. So because she's incentivized and she understands what goals I'm supposed to reach at work, or else mommy gets fired. She helps me build it. In fact, it got to a stage that it was difficult for me to close work at 9 and 5 p.m., to log off at 5. My daughter told me, suggested that, mommy, instead of you to wait up until 4:30 to or 5 o'clock to start doing your end of the day report, why don't you start at 3? Start it at 3, and then over time continue filling it, so you find out that once before 5 o'clock you have filled in all the details that you require. And I started using this, and to tell you the truth, since I started doing that, I was able to log off at 5. So a SWOT analysis is something that is extremely key. So do not be ashamed to carry out that SWOT analysis. Do not be ashamed to utilize what opportunities you have. Remember, children are resilient. Children are smart. Use open communication, and it's okay to love your career and love your children, and it's okay to try to balance it. And when they clash, do not worry, you would find a way to work around it. So always remember that you identify what your strengths, your weaknesses, your opportunities, and your threats are. And your threats can tomorrow turn into an opportunity, while a weakness can be improved on and become a strength. And in the process of carrying out that SWOT on yourself, you are conditionally or unconsciously carry out a SWOT on your children too. I hope this video has been helpful. The next video will be talking about identifying your values, which I feel is the next step to actually understanding and knowing yourself. I look forward to your feedback, your tips. Have a lovely day. Stay safe. Bye.